I'm a nurse, but I'm also a patient. My therapy dog, Desert Sage, is my partner. When people confuse her for an emotional support animal or a service dog, it's not just frustrating, but it puts us and teams like us in real danger. Today I'm breaking down the critical differences because understanding them is essential to keeping these life-changing animals safe.
On the road to healing 1 mile at a time.
Hey everyone, I'm Nurse TLC, and as you can see, I'm not in the van. The van has been in the shop for quite some time. There is a series I'm working on called the Van Breakdown Chronicles. So if you're interested in watching that, there'll be a card above and also in the description box. And as of the date of this video, I have 2 parts done, but there will definitely be 3 or more. So be on the lookout for that. Anyway, let's get right into the video. I'm a registered nurse of over 20 years, but I'm also one of the millions of people who suffers from chronic illness. For me, that means existing in a world that isn't always set up for bodies like mine. And Sagey, or Desert Sage, my beagle, is my partner. She's my personal support at home, but she's also training to help others. My career as a nurse gave me a deep understanding of medicine. Lordy, 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 cut. I'm sorry if I'm looking awkward on camera. I'm trying, I have dystonia is one of my chronic illnesses, and my muscles are spasming bad. So if you see my eyes blinking uncontrollably or my muscles twitching, I just can't help it, and it's bothering me right now, but I'm trying to get this video done, so I just wanted you to be aware in case you're like, what is going on with this lady? I'm sorry if you're new here. Again, I'm one of the millions that suffer from chronic illness, and dystonia is just one of mine, so let's keep going. Being a patient has taught me a lot about survival and how important your support system is. There's a huge hurdle, though, that people need to get around when it has to do with assistance animals, and that is the public confusion around assistance and working animals. The confusion isn't just frustrating, it can be dangerous. It puts up walls for people with disabilities and undermines the importance of these working animals. And that's why I'm making this video, to not just break it down as a healthcare provider, but also somebody that suffers from chronic illness and disability herself. I think my perspective is unique because I'm both a healthcare provider and a patient. Okay, let me tell you a story. Sage and I were in an outdoor mall on one of our travels, and there was a guy with another dog that said service dog. He had a vest on, and his dog starts running up, well, pulling him, and acted agitated and wanted to come over and bark at Sagey. And I was giving Sagey the wait sign, and she was sitting nicely. And then this guy with this dog kind of comes running up a little bit, and he says, "Oh, she's friendly. Don't worry about it." And I'm looking at him like, that is not a service dog. No service dog is going to act that way in public if they're a well-trained service dog. So that is, to me, it was obvious he just bought a vest online. Anyway, why that can be dangerous is because Sagey being a therapy dog, it could have scared her, although she's not really that scared, but say it's another therapy dog, and they could be very shaken, rattled, and, not understanding why this dog wanted to fight, don't know if they want to fight, if they want to play, and this is a public setting. Anyway, my dog, I have spent hundreds of hours training. Like, she is in a training program right now, and before that, I've spent hundreds of hours training her, just by myself, before the training program even started. So we're talking hundreds of hours. Let's get this show on the road. Let's go. Okay. Say yes, I'm ready, Mom. With a different trainer besides your mom, huh? All right. Okay, come. Okay. Are you ready?
Sophie. Come on, girl. Customer service call pending.
Your first training? Hey, did you have your first official training class? Desert Sage, I know you want to go back. So I liked it in there. She loved it, huh? Do you want a treaty? Yes? Look, you're being a good girl. You need a treat. Say, Mom, I did so good. All right. Come on. Up. Say, welcome home. Welcome home. Up. Good girl. See what a good girl you are? I mean, sometimes you might have to pull your dog back and prevent the other dog from trying to get in a fight with your dog. A dog like that can startle a dog that's actually working and maybe make them more anxious throughout the day. So you don't want fake service dogs with fake vests that you can buy online that are acting up in public to rattle the service dogs and the therapy dogs that are doing their jobs. That man's ignorance didn't just annoy me, but it had the potential to take away a sense of comfort, not just me, but for the community as well, if Seiji would have gotten shaken up for the day. Maybe we were on our way to go see some kids in a hospital or something, and then she could have been rattled and not herself, which wouldn't have been good. So you definitely don't want to do that. I just think that that is ethically not right. All right, let's start with the big one. Probably the most protected and most misunderstood category, the service dog. Okay, so I'm going to look down because I'm going to read something real quick. Under the U.S. Americans with Disabilities Act, or the ADA, a service animal is a dog that is individually trained to do work or perform tasks for a person with a disability. That's the key phrase right there, task trained. This isn't about making somebody feel good, but this is about a specific task that they are trained to do, or tasks. It's a physical task specifically tied to the handler's disability. These tasks are incredibly varied. Everybody has seen guide dogs for the blind, so you can see that that is a specific task-trained dog. They are to guide the blind. There are seizure alert dogs, or for people like me, I have POTS also, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, and so there's people like me that also have service dogs, or because I also have EDS. There's also people with EDS that have maybe some more orthopedic impairments, or they need a dog to help steady them. There's multiple things that service dog can do. There's also service dogs that help specifically with other cardiac conditions. It's just very varied on what they can do. Even dogs that can tell when somebody, like a type 1 diabetic, when their blood sugar's low. There's just a lot of different things, but they are task-oriented to their person with a disability or specific medical condition that their handler has. So they are for one person. Another good example was when Derek had Gunner, and Gunner was for physical assistance because he's in a wheelchair, and so Gunner would sometimes be able to steady Derek because he's a large dog, so Derek can, you put your hands on to help steady yourself. Also, Gunner was trained to come and get me if Derek fell out of his wheelchair. So there's specific tasks that these dogs do. They can also pull wheelchairs, open doors, you name it, but they're trained for specific tasks, like Derek had a lanyard with keys, and Gunner could pick that up, but they're trained for certain tasks. That's the thing behind that. Sorry, my phone keeps beeping at me. I'm very sorry about that. Because they are legally considered medical equipment, just like a wheelchair, service dogs have full access rights. This means they can go anywhere that their handler goes. Restaurants, schools, grocery stores, even airplanes. Now, this is where a lot of people get tripped up. Because a business can't ask you for certification or registration papers, which in my view, they should. In my view, you should if you get a service dog. This is just my personal view. It'd be great if you had it really signed off and registered, because then that would get rid of these fake service dogs. Anyway, they can't ask you for any of that, so they can only ask you a couple of specific questions. In fact, a lot of online registration sites are just scams. I'm going to read what the 2 questions that they can specifically ask so I don't get it wrong. They can't legally ask what the person's disability is. Legally, staff can only ask 2 questions, and I'm going to read them right now. First one, is the dog a service animal required because of a disability? That's question 1. Question 2, I'm looking down again because I'm reading. What work or specific task has the dog been trained to perform? That's it. Those 2 specific questions, that's all they can ask. And of course, people could make something up, which is terrible, but anyway, I'm sure that happens. Okay, that's number one, service dog, okay? So now that we got service dogs covered, let's talk about the second category, which is a therapy dog. These dogs are absolute angels, but their jobs are totally different. This is the category that my dog, Seiji, falls into. I have a therapy dog. She absolutely helps me, but I'm training her to help others as well. A therapy dog is trained to give comfort and affection to others, not just their handler. They volunteer with their owners in places like hospitals, schools, nursing homes, and even disaster areas. As a nurse, I've seen the magic that these dogs work. I've literally watched them lower a patient's blood pressure by being just right there with them. The main difference is focus. A service dog is focused inward on their one person. A therapy dog is focused outward and giving comfort to a lot of different people. To do that, they have to be rock solid, have a gentle temperament, and be super well behaved. They're usually tested and certified by a therapy dog organization, and there's several out there. But here's the important part. Therapy dogs do not have any public access rights under the ADA. They are only allowed in specific areas where they are invited to volunteer. They can't just walk into a mall or a restaurant where pets are not allowed. They are amazing volunteers, but are not medical equipment. And finally, let's get into the most controversial one, emotional support animal, or otherwise known as ESA. An emotional support animal provides therapeutic benefit like companionship and comfort to someone with a mental or an emotional health condition. But unlike a service dog, it does not do any specific tasks. Their presence alone is what helps their person with something like anxiety or even depression, because you know how pets in general uplift your mood. So that's what they are. They are emotional support to one person. So let's get crystal clear about legal rights, because here's where the mess happens. ESAs do not have public access rights. They do, however, have some housing rights. They aren't allowed in grocery stores, restaurants, or malls. Anywhere that says no pets allowed or no dogs allowed, they're not allowed in. They are not a service animal. The ESA vest you can buy online, and it means absolutely nothing when it comes to public access. Their rights are really in just two areas, and one of them has changed a lot. First, housing. The Fair Housing Act says that landlords have to provide reasonable accommodations for ESAs. This means they can live with their owners even in no-pet housing, and landlords cannot charge a pet fee. To get this, you need a letter from a licensed healthcare provider explaining the need for the animal. Second, air travel. The Air Carrier Access Act used to let ESAs fly in the cabin. Because so many people abused this and they had every kind of pet you could imagine saying it was an ESA and bringing it into the airplane, this has changed a lot. They're treated just like any other pet now, which means they're subject to airlines' pet policies and fees. Only trained service dogs are allowed in the cabins in most airlines now. So let's boil this all down into a quick cheat sheet. Service dogs. For a person with a disability, they are highly trained to do specific tasks for a certain individual with a disability or health condition, and they have full public access rights. Therapy dogs. Trained to give comfort to other people in specific places like hospitals. They have no public access rights. Emotional support animals provide comfort to their owner at home. They only have rights in housing, but no public access rights. So why do I get so worked up about this? Why does this confusion actually matter? Because in the real world, there are real life consequences that affect everyone. When someone brings an untrained pet or an ESA into a public space and they are barking, lunging, and just out of control, it's not just annoying, it can distract and even attack a working animal. An attack can traumatize a gentle therapy dog, potentially ending its career of helping people. For a service dog, the distraction can be life-threatening. If a service dog misses a cardiac event, the result for its handler could be serious injury or even death. All this confusion also makes it harder because business owners get skeptical. They get skeptical of even legitimate service animals and sometimes try to illegally turn them away. It's exhausting for handlers that constantly have to advocate for themselves and explain the federal law to the store manager or restaurant manager or wherever they're going, all while trying to manage their health condition. All of this can make their stress worse. I can't say it. Sorry. All of this can make their stress worse and therefore make their condition worse. Being a nurse is hard enough. Being a patient is hard enough. My therapy dog is my partner to bring comfort to me and the community. When her safety and ability to do her job because of misinformation gets threatened, the weight of it can be immense. If this breakdown was helpful for you, or you want to follow my journey as a nurse, just trying to get through life with a chronic illness, and partner in my healing here, please hit that subscribe button. And if you learned something new today, please share this video. It's very important information to get out. The more people who understand this, the safer the world gets for those that rely on the service animals. And if you learned something new today, please share this video. The more people who understand this, the safer the world becomes for every single person who relies on an assistance animal and for every person they might help. Jeez, I can't even talk today. At the end of the day, this isn't about being animal police. It's about having compassion and understanding the reality of other people's lives. These animals are not just accessories, they are partners in our well-being and ambassadors of comfort. It's about making a world where somebody with a disability can go about their day with their service dog without being afraid of confrontation, and where a therapy dog team can prepare for their work in peace. So if you take one thing away from this video, let it be this. It's not the vest that matters. It's the training and the task. Respect the animal's job, give the handler their space, and please know the difference. It can be life or death. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
On the road to healing 1 mile at a time, with desert sage and hope by my side. With pain and strength part of our day, we love helping others along the way.